Welcome, everyone. We are just so happy to have you here with us today.
Yes, welcome. It is great to be here.
This is a very special deep dive. Today, our mission is actually pretty simple, but, well, it's really important for your language journey.
It really is.
We are going to help you practice and understand everyday conversations in English, because when you are learning a language, being able to talk naturally with people, that is a huge milestone.
Right. It's the main goal for most people.
Exactly. It's a big goal, and we want to help you reach that today.
And, looking at the research we gathered for today, it's actually amazing how much things have changed for language learners.
Oh, definitely.
Think about the past. If you wanted to learn English, say, 20 or 30 years ago, what did you have?
Not much, right?
No, not much at all. You probably had an old, a heavy dictionary with torn pages. Maybe you had a few cassette
Oh, yeah,
tapes.
cassette tapes.
And you just play them over and over again until they finally broke. It was hard work.
It really was.
But today, the notes show us that learners have they have a dream setup.
They really do.
You have apps on your phone, you have artificial intelligence to chat with, and you have audio deep dives, just like this one. You have so many incredible tools right in your pocket.
But having a lot of tools doesn't always mean you know how to use them, right?
It is very true.
I mean, you can have a great app, but when you actually go and talk to a native speaker, they use words that aren't always in the textbook.
Yeah, that is a very real challenge. Native speakers just love to use informal, casual language.
They really do.
And that brings us to the specific tool we are focusing on today. We're going to look at 5 extremely common action phrases.
Okay.
In English, we call these phrasal verbs. They're usually just 2 short words put together, but native speakers use them constantly in normal chat.
And why do we use them so much? Like, why not just use one big formal word instead?
It's mostly about tone. Phrasal verbs make you sound friendly, relaxed, and approachable.
Ah, I see.
If you use big, formal words all the time, you might sound like a textbook, or maybe a little too serious. Phrasal verbs help you sound like a local.
That makes total sense. And the best part of today's deep dive is that you, the listener, are not just going to sit back and listen.
Okay.
You are going to actively practice with us.
Yes, interactive learning is one of the best ways to remember new words.
Exactly.
So as we go through these 5 phrases, we would love for you to pause, think about what we just discussed, and write your own example sentences in the comments section.
It's such a great way to lock the information into your memory.
It really is.
So let's jump right into our first word. Word number 1 is figure out.
Figure out.
I'll say that one more time slowly.
Figure out. So how would you define this one for us?
Well, to figure out means to understand something or to find the answer to a problem. But there's specific nuance here.
What kind of nuance?
It usually means you have to make an effort. You have to really think about it for a minute.
You deduce the answer by looking at the clues. You don't just know the answer instantly. You really have to work your brain a little bit to figure it out.
Okay, so it implies a bit of a struggle, or at least some brain power.
Exactly.
I notice in our notes there's a famous movie quote that shows this perfectly. Have you seen the original Star Wars movie?
I have. And the example you're thinking of is great.
Yeah, it's a classic.
In the movie, there's a character who is looking at a strange little robot. He has never seen anything like it before. He doesn't know what it is, so he says, "Now let's see if we can't figure out what you are, my little friend."
So he needs to study the robot. He needs to investigate it. He is trying to figure it out.
That's right, and this connects beautifully to the bigger picture of learning English. You actually use this phrase and this action all the time when you read.
How so? Like when I'm reading a book and I find a word I don't know.
Yes, exactly. Our research suggests a very specific reading strategy. Imagine you're reading a short story in English and you see an unknown word. The first thing you should do is not reach for your dictionary.
Oh, really?
Right. Instead, you look at the other words in the sentence. You look at the context, the situation in the story, and you try to figure out what the new word means based on those clues.
I see. So you are acting like a detective.
Exactly.
Let's imagine we are sitting at a cafe right now, and I'm playing with my phone. I might say to you, "Hey, I just downloaded this new language learning app, but the menu is incredibly confusing. I really don't know where to click."
And I would probably lean over and say, "Oh, let me see your phone. The buttons are very small. Give me a second."
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I think I can figure out how to start the lesson. You just have to swipe left right here.
Oh, wow. I see it now. Thanks for helping me figure that out.
You see? It's a very natural exchange. We had a small problem with the phone. and we used our minds to find the solution.
We would love to see how you use this phrase in your own life. Drop down into the comments right now and tell us about a time you had to figure something out.
Yeah, tell us your stories.
Was it a complicated math problem, maybe confusing directions on a map, or a really difficult recipe? Give it a try.
While you do that, let's move on to word number 2. The second word is find out. Find out.
Wait, I need some clarification here. Find out sounds almost exactly like figure out. What is the actual difference between the two?
That is a very common question.
Because as a learner, I feel like I might mix those up easily.
It's a great distinction to make. Find out means to discover something or to get new information. The big difference is the amount of effort you put in.
So one is harder than the other.
Yes. When you figure out, remember, you are thinking hard to solve a puzzle. You are putting in work.
Right, the brain power.
But when you find out, you usually just hear the information or you read it. You discover the fact, often without trying very hard at all. The information just comes to you.
Oh, that makes sense. There's a really funny movie example from our research that highlights this. It's from Terminator 2.
Oh, yeah.
It's a very serious science fiction movie, but a character has a great line. He says, "It's not every day that you find out you're responsible for 3 billion deaths." He took it pretty well.
It is a dark comedy moment, for sure, but it perfectly shows the meaning.
It really does.
In the movie, the character suddenly receives this terrible, heavy information. He didn't solve a puzzle to get it. Someone just told him the bad news. He discovered it. He found it out.
And returning to your reading strategy from earlier, if I'm reading that short story, and I try my best, but I simply cannot figure out the unknown word from the context. What's the next step?
Our source material says that was when you change your strategy.
Okay.
You can write the unknown word in a notebook.
Mm-hmm.
Then later, you look in a dictionary to find out the true meaning.
Ah, I get it.
You aren't guessing anymore. You just check the book, and you find out the answer.
Let's put this into a real-life context. Suppose we're planning to go out later. I might text you and say, I really want to go to the cinema tonight to see that new comedy film, but I don't know when it actually starts.
And I would reply, well, let me look on my phone really quickly. I'll check the cinema's website to find out what time the movie begins.
Great. Let me know what you find out so we can plan the rest of our evening.
Do you see the difference? I didn't have to solve a math equation to get the movie time. I just looked at the website and discovered the information. I found it out.
So, for everyone listening, how will you end your use? Find out. Go to the comments and write a sentence for us.
Yes, please do.
Maybe you can write about a time you found out a surprising secret, or you found out the final score of a big sports game. We really enjoy reading your examples.
Let's introduce word number 3. This one is incredibly useful for making decisions in your daily life.
Okay, what is it?
The phrase is, think over. Sometimes native speakers also say, think things through, think over.
How would you describe the feeling of this phrase?
Well, to think over means to consider something carefully. You have a choice to make or a complex problem to solve, and you need time to process all the information in your mind.
So it's not a fast process.
Right. You don't want to rush. You don't want to make a fast decision. You want to think it over.
And why do native speakers use this instead of a word like evaluate or analyze?
It is much softer. If a friend asks you to move into a new apartment with them and you say, I need to evaluate your offer, it sounds very cold.
Yeah, it sounds like a business meeting.
Exactly. But if you say, let me think it over, it sounds warm, friendly, and respectful.
That is a great tip. The notes we have give a really strong real-life example of this. Imagine a couple. They were thinking of buying a house. It was their big dream.
A very big dream.
But then, unfortunately, the husband lost his job and they had to put off their plans.
Right. Buying a house is a massive life decision. It involves a lot of money and a lot of commitment.
It sure does.
Before they sign any papers, especially after losing a job, they need to think over all the costs, the risks, and their future. They had to consider everything very carefully.
But we also use it for smaller things, right? Not just buying houses.
Oh, absolutely. Think about when you are reading in English and you see a strange idiom. Maybe the phrase is, get the ball rolling.
That's a common one.
If you are a learner, you stop. You don't just read past it and ignore it. You have to think over what that might mean in the context of the story. You consider the words carefully to see if they make sense together.
To hear what this sounds like in a casual conversation, let's imagine we are talking about taking a trip together.
Sounds fun.
I come to you super excited and say, hey, I just found these incredibly cheap plane tickets for a dream vacation to Hawaii. But the big summer sale ends tomorrow. Should we buy them right now?
And even though I love travel, I'd have to be the responsible one and say, wow, Hawaii sounds amazing.
Yeah.
But that is still a lot of money, and I really need to check my schedule at work before I commit. I can't say yes right now. I need some time to think it over.
Okay, I understand completely. Think it over tonight and tell me your final answer in the morning.
It's the perfect phrase to buy yourself some time. When someone asks you a big question and you just aren't ready to answer, simply tell them, let me think it over.
It is time for your next practice challenge. Head down to the comments and leave a sentence using think over.
We can't wait to read them.
What is a big choice you had to think over recently? Was it buying a new car, choosing a university, or even just deciding what to have for dinner? Let us know.
Moving right along to word number 4. This phrase is deal with. Deal with.
Deal with feels like something we all have to do every single day, even if we really don't want to. It feels a little heavy.
It definitely carries a certain emotional weight. To deal with means to take action on a responsibility.
Like doing chores.
Yes, exactly. It means handling a situation, fixing a problem, or managing something that requires your immediate attention. Usually it's a situation that you simply cannot ignore. You must take action, and often it's slightly annoying or frustrating.
I noticed in the research materials, they use some pretty strong vocabulary to explain this concept. They talk about chaos and policy.
Yes, those are great words to connect to this phrase. Chaos is a state where everything is crazy, confused, and disorganized.
Right.
And a policy is a plan created by a government, a school, or business. So a policy is basically an official plan about how to deal with something complicated. It is an organization's way to deal with chaos.
Let's bring that back to language learning because let's be honest, English grammar can feel like chaos sometimes.
It really can. When you're learning English, it isn't always fun and games. Sometimes you look at English grammar rules and they seem to make no sense at all. They are confusing, and there are so many exceptions to every single rule.
So true. But if I want to speak fluently, I can't just pretend the grammar doesn't exist.
Right, you cannot ignore it. You just have to sit down, open your book, study, and deal with those frustrating rules. You have to manage the problem if you want to improve.
I definitely know that feeling. Let's show how deal with sounds when you are facing a minor, everyday disaster. Imagine we are at the office and I'm searching my pockets looking panicked, I might say. Oh no, I can't find my wallet anywhere. I think I dropped it on the bus this morning.
Oh, that is terrible. Are your credit cards in there? You have to call the bank immediately to cancel them.
Yes, they are all in there. This is going to be so much work. I have to call the bank, then I have to go to the police station to report it, and I have to get a new driver's license. I really don't want to deal with this today. I'm too busy.
I know it is incredibly stressful, but you have to deal with it right now before someone finds it and spends your money.
You see how that works? It is an action you must take to handle a problem, even if you hate doing it.
Exactly.
We want to hear from you now. Please write a sentence using deal with in the comments. Tell us about a small problem you had to deal with this week.
Nothing too serious, hopefully.
Right. Did you have to deal with a flat tire on your bicycle? Did you deal with a really difficult customer at your job? Tell us your story.
We are already at our final word for today, word number 5. This one is quite fun, and it paints a very vivid picture. The phrase is, run into, run into.
Now, if I take this literally, it sounds painful, like I'm physically running and hitting a wall. Is that what it means?
Well, it can mean that. It can mean to physically hit or crash into something, usually because you weren't expecting it to be there. But in everyday conversation, it usually has a social meaning.
A social meaning.
Yes, to run into means to meet someone unexpectedly, completely by chance. You did not plan to meet them.
The research notes included a very funny quote from the television show The Big Bang Theory that plays with this idea.
Oh, I love that quote.
One of the characters is giving some very strange advice about dangerous animals. He says, if you run into crocodiles, just kick them with your boots.
That is a funny visual, but please, to everyone listening, do not actually try to kick a crocodile.
No, definitely not.
In the context of this TV quote, run into means to meet a crocodile by surprise. You are just walking along a path, minding your own business, and suddenly there's a crocodile right in front of you. You ran into it.
Thankfully, most of us don't run into crocodiles on a daily basis.
Right.
What is a more normal situation where I would use this phrase?
Think about running errands. Imagine you go to the local supermarket to buy some milk. You're pushing your shopping cart, you turn the corner into the next aisle, and suddenly you see your old friend from high school.
Oh, wow.
You didn't call them, you didn't plan to see them, it is a complete surprise. You can say, I ran into my old friend at the supermarket today.
Or what about the physical meaning?
Imagine you are driving your car in a new city. You don't know the roads very well. You take a wrong turn, and suddenly the street just ends. There's a big brick wall. You just ran into a dead end. You met an unexpected obstacle.
Let's do a quick chat to use the phrase naturally. Imagine we are grabbing coffee before work. I might say to you, hey, you will never guess who I ran into at the coffee shop down the street this morning.
Really? Who did you run into?
I ran into our old boss from 5 years ago. We had a nice chat, but it was such a surprise to see him there.
Wow, what a small world. It is always interesting when you run into people from your past when you least expect it.
It really is. Now it's your turn for the final phrase. Go to the comments and share a sentence using run into.
Yes, let's see them.
Have you run into an old friend recently? Have you run into a strange situation? We would love to read about it.
You have all done an amazing job today. We have covered a lot of ground and learned some very important phrases. So let's do a calm, clear recap of all 5 words. Repeating them is essential to solidify your memory.
Good idea. Word number 1 was figure out. This means to understand something or solve a problem by putting in some effort and thinking about it. You use your mind to figure it out.
Word number 2 was find out. This means to discover information or get a fact. Usually without trying as hard as when you figure something out. You read the news or someone tells you and you find it out.
Word number 3 was think over. This means to consider something very carefully before making a choice. When you have a big decision, you don't rush. You take your time and think it over.
Word number 4 was deal with. This means to take action to handle a situation or a responsibility. When there is a problem, even an annoying one, you can't ignore it. You must deal with it.
And finally, word number 5 was run into. This means to meet someone unexpectedly by chance or to hit an obstacle by surprise, like running into an old friend at the store or running into a crocodile.
We have asked you to write sentences throughout this deep dive. If you haven't done it yet, please pick your favorite word from the list. Or if you want a real challenge, try to write a short paragraph using all 5 words. It is a fantastic exercise.
As we finish up today, I want to offer some words of encouragement. Learning English or any new language is a long and winding journey. Some days it feels easy, and some days it feels like you're dealing with a million frustrating rules.
That is so true.
But please keep practicing every single day. Even just 5 or 10 minutes of listening and writing makes a massive difference over time. And remember, making mistakes isn't just normal, it is necessary. It is how you learn. Don't let the fear of mistakes stop you.
That is beautiful advice. And I want to leave you with one final thought from our research today. We looked at a paper by a researcher named Sakin Mehmedli. This research studied how people actually retain foreign languages best.
Oh, this is fascinating.
And what they found is that passive listening isn't enough. Interactive reading and social interaction are incredibly powerful tools for your brain.
What does that mean for our listeners right now?
It means that when you engage with the material, when you type a comment below, and when you read the sentences written by other learners, you're using a scientifically proven method. Social interaction significantly boosts your vocabulary acquisition.
That's amazing.
By interacting with us today, you aren't just doing extra homework. You are actively wiring the English language deep into your brain. You are building stronger memory connections than if you only listened passively.
Science proves that leaving a comment actually helps you learn faster. So take advantage of this community we are building. Read what others have written, figure out their sentences, and add your own voice to the conversation.
Thank you so much for spending your valuable time with us today. It's been wonderful exploring these words with you.
Keep up the great work. Keep practicing those everyday conversations, and we will be here with another deep dive for you next time. Have a wonderful day, and goodbye.